Hey everyone, I'm THPine and welcome back to my Screeps Nooby guide. Today we're gonna claim another room. Before we do that though, let me get you up to date. So as mentioned in the last episode, I'm back on the main server and it went pretty well so far. As you can see, I'm on room control level 5 already, and I did some good harvesting in this room. This room is really good. I have two sources right next to each other and the controller really close by as well. This is one of the best rooms you can spawn in. And also there are no enemies around. Well, there weren't when I spawned. I did a lot of long distance harvesting within the room to the north of this, and then right before I started recording this video, someone spawned in that room and then completely threw off my economy. As you can see, there's a player in here now. He seems to be very inexperienced so far. His creeps are not doing anything right now. Actually, I actually talked to him. He seems to watch my videos, which is cool. Hi, and I'm trying to convince him to respawn because when he is in this room, like he controls the room, I cannot harvest this source, so my long distance harvesting just fails, and that's a problem because I was totally relying on that. So that completely screwed over my economy, but it should be back up soonish. So I guess not too big of a deal. Still, I would prefer to still be able to harvest from this room. And actually, if he would respawn, like, this is not only selfish, it would be good for him as well to respawn. Because not only is this room close to two other players, which is another thing you want if you are inexperienced in this game, but also it only has one energy source, which is also really far away from the controller. So this is just terrible room. So we would both benefit from him respawning. But I guess I don't really have control over that. Yeah, anyway, let me show you the world where I am. Well, the world is the main world, but where I'm in the main world. I'm down here. This is pretty far south, west 45, south 79. And it's a pretty good room, as mentioned. And when I spawned, this one was not here, so there was one room. Like, I have a lot of space here. There was one here, but he respawned as well because the room was terrible as well. He just realized, so he respawned. And those are all fairly far away. So for the short future or the near future, I'm pretty good, like there are no major threats here. Just two people could be good, but like they're pretty far away so far. So yeah, we can handle that somehow. Also, as soon as this room opens up, this room is a room with two sources, and there's no other player directly connected to it. So this is a pretty good room to claim as well. So I'm pretty happy about the position in general. Here's at least one or two decent players. More danger is coming from. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. It's coming from up here. This guy has like control level 10, I think, a global control level, that is. Yeah, 10, so he seems to be pretty experienced and just respawned apparently. So he has a bunch of rooms already, so he's potentially pretty dangerous. But I'm fairly far away from him, so he should not be a concern for the next few months, I hope, or at least weeks, I guess. Anyway. The goal of this episode is to claim this room over here. I didn't want to claim this room even before the guy spawned here because it's right close to this guy, and also the controller and the source are very far away. This room only has one source as well, but it's pretty close to the controller, so that is good. It should be easy to get this, or easier to get this room to a higher global control level. Not global, a higher room control level. There we go. And so yeah, that's the goal of this episode. So let's do that. It's actually like. It's a fairly complex task, most of the, but it only because it consists of multiple fairly simple steps, actually. So there's nothing really complicated we have to do, but there's a bunch of different things we have to do and we have to keep in mind. So first off, we need a new creep type, which is a claimer. A claimer needs a claim body part to claim a controller. So let's start with that. Let's create a new role. Let's copy the long distance harvester and make a claimer role out of that. So we rename this to claimer. There we go. And we kill most of the code. We don't need this. We don't need this. We can't wait. I think we can take the code from down here. Yeah, this is better. So we need this basically. We need the what does the, okay? Let's think about what the claimer has to do first. So the claimer has a very simple job actually. He has to go to a specific room which we will save in his memory with the property target. So creep memory target. That's the room name. He has to go, and when he gets to that room, he has to go to the controller and claim it by using the claim controller function, which is only like it doesn't cost energy. It just takes one tick. It's really simple. You just have to execute a command and the room is yours. Easy as that. The creep just has to get to the controller. So the claimer creep is actually very simple. So we first have to look: are we in the room we want to be in? And if that's the case, if that's not the case, we want to go there. So I think we can copy this. Fucked up my indentation again. So if the room name the creep is the name of the room the creep is in is not the same as the name we have saved in memory .target, then we're gonna try to find the exit to that room and move toward it. So exit is creep room, find exit to creep memory target, and if and then we're gonna move towards that. We're gonna move towards that exit. There we go. Creep pause find close by range to exit. There we go. Simple as that. Okay, cool, easy. What if we get there? Well, that's really easy as well. We just have to do a two-liner similar to the harvester, basically. Let's just copy that and change it around a little bit. So we don't try to harvest, obviously. Instead, we're gonna try to claim a controller. And the controller, how do we find the controller? Well, that's really easy. Every room only has one controller, and therefore there is a property called room.controller, which just returns us this controller. So what we can do is creep.room.controller. For some reason, the autocomplete is fucked again. I'm not sure why. It's really unfortunate, but I don't know. That should be correct anyway. Creep.room.controller. So this returns us the controller of the room the creep is in, and we established we're in the correct room now because this condition returned false. So we're in the correct room now when we execute this line. So we try to claim the controller of the room the creep is in, and if that's not in range, we're gonna move towards it. Simple as that. Let's put a comment here. Try to claim controller. There we go. So that's it. That's the claimer. The claimer is really, really easy and straightforward. Okay, let's do the important things like putting the role into action so I don't forget that later because I usually do that. Require role.claimer semicolon and also do this. Creep is claimer, call claimer script or claimer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if the creep is a claimer, call the claimer script as always. That should be obvious. I think if you watched my previous videos anyway. So okay, we got this down. Cool. Now we have to create the claimer. The claimer needs a claim body part, so we need a specific function for that to work. So we go to the prototype spawn thingy and create a new function. Let's just copy the first part of this, I think. Create a new function. Function. We only need one property. We need the target room we want to claim. Okay, cool. So this is actually a one-liner, so that's really easy. We just return a creep. A create creep function call, I guess. So the body of a claimer is really simple, well, or at least the one I want to build. The thing is, if you put a claim body part in your body of a creep, this will reduce the creep's lifetime to 500. So you don't want to invest a lot of energy into a claimer creep because it will not live for long anyway. So make it as cheap as possible. So what do we need? We need claim and move, and that's it. So that's a really, really cheap, really small creep. Let's not give it a name, but give it some preset memory properties. We need the role, obviously, which is claimer, and we need the target, which is the target variable we just got passed to this function. So the creep only knows his role and the room he has to go to, and that's all he needs. So this is the code for creating well, not a long distance harvester, a claimer, obviously. Sorry, hitting the mic. That's not good. It's hard to type while you have a microphone in front of you. It's a little tricky. Anyway, okay, so there's that. Easy. Okay, now we have to create one. Well, how do you do that? If we do this the same way, we cannot do this the same way as we do with other creeps or other roles, because if we set up a minimum of claimers, that doesn't make sense. Like, we only want to claim a room once when we say so. There's no, like, maybe you can automate this process, obviously, but not the same way as you would with others. I will not automate it, though. I will give it, basically, I want to set up a command. And the easiest way to do something like that in this game is to to define a variable in memory for that. So basically, what I want to do is I'm gonna put into the console. I'm not doing it yet, but I'm gonna show you what I want to do. So I'm gonna go game.spawns.spawn1.memory, and then I'm gonna define a new property. Let's call it claim room, and then I'm gonna put the name of the room I want to go to in there, which is W53S79. I'm not going to send this now, but I want to do that later. And as soon as that happens, I want to spawn to create a claimer creep. Sorry, my nose is tickling. Or not, well, at least as soon as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... God damn it! What's wrong with my nose? It's always happening when I'm recording. Probably I'm allergic to recording videos or something, I don't know. So what we're going to do is, before we test on any of the other spawn conditionals, like if there are enough rolls of other creeps, well, actually, I think actually harvesters should have priority over claiming. So actually, let's put it in here instead. So what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put another else if in here, and we're gonna check for, why is this? Oh, because there's a condition in here, and we're gonna check for the variable claim room. So what we're gonna do is game.spawns.spawn1.memory.claim room is if that's not undefined, then we want to do something. Then we want to spawn a claimer. So we're gonna do name game.spawns spawn1.create claimer with the target of this variable. That's not a good way of doing this. It's fine. Should be okay. I'm just worried about the length of this line, but this will change later on anyway. We have to do more adjustments to this code later. But for now, this is okay. Did I screwed up the? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we create a claimer when the claim room property is defined with the target of the, well, whatever is in the claim room property. Cool. Now we have to delete the claim room property again because we only want to spawn one claimer. We could do that manually, but that's a hassle. So instead, we're gonna check if this was successful. We're just gonna copy the check from down here. If that worked, then we delete the property claim room. There we go. And that's it. That's it. That is actually all you have to do to claim a room. Claiming is not all, though. You also have to build a spawn and operate it. Because the spawn, unlike your first room, the spawn is not actually free. So you have to build that. The easiest way, in my opinion, is to send some builders over there and make them build the spawn. And like just transfer builders from your old room to the new room. So we're going to do that. Okay, it's spawning another creep right now. I think it's spawning a wall repairer. So it's busy right now. But after the wall repairer is done, it hopefully will spawn our claimer. Okay, while we wait for that, let's do what I just said. So I want to be able to send builders to another room. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, we expand the builder role a little bit, and we just make a check at the beginning of the role function, and we check if there is again a memory property set. So if creep.memory.target, well, let's actually take the code from the claimer. That's because that's very similar. Actually, I think it's exactly the same. Can we just copy that? Let's copy it and think about it. So if in target room, if creep room name, yeah, no, creep room name is unequal to creep memory target. So if you're not in the target room, if target is, that's actually a problem. If target is undefined, this will always return false. That's not great. So we probably should check first if target is actually defined. Okay, let's do that. If we can't just put that in there. If creep.memory.target is not undefined. And so, okay, if target is undefined, we just do the regular builder code. We completely ignore whatever happens up here. If it's not undefined, however, so if it is set, we're gonna check if the creep is in the target room. And if that's not the case, we're gonna remove the creep towards the target room. So this is a really easy way, because this means we can just take one of the living builder creeps and give it a target property, and at that point the creep will turn around whatever it's doing right now and go to that target room and then continue working from there. So that's a good way of doing that, in my opinion. You can do that with for every role, actually, if you want to do that. Did we got a claimer already? I don't think we did. Oh, it's still spawning the role repairer. That takes a while. The main server is fairly slow, so you can see it's only processing like 1 tick per 2 seconds or something along those lines. So it's fairly slow. So it takes a while to spawn big creeps, and this is a pretty big creep because I'm on room control level 5 already. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, lots of energy, lots of body parts. Oh fuck, you see those messages, that sucks. How do I turn this off? Just ignore it, you don't see much of it. Okay, that's unprofessional, I'm sorry for that. I should have closed that tab, I guess. Anyway, let's just ignore it. You don't see anything important anyway. Okay, cool, so now we have the builders prepared. So now we will be able to build the spawn. However, when the spawn is complete, what do we want to do then? Because so far, the code we have is only working for one specific spawn, which is spawn 1, and in general only working for one specific room. So we have to completely refactor, well, not really refactor, but overhaul, fix our code to make it work with multiple rooms and multiple spawns. And the biggest difference, like the biggest change I want to do is I want to move those minimum number of role variables to the memory again. So I'm gonna get rid of this and instead have these minimum numbers defined in the memory of the spawns. So every spawn will know how many harvesters it has to maintain in the room it is in, and how many upgraders and builders and repairers and wall repairers and long distance harvesters and stuff. So I will move that to the memory. So before we change the code at all, let's just do that first. So we're just going to do that via the console. That's actually really easy. So we take game.spawn1.memory and set min, how do we call them? Min harvesters. Oops, min harvesters. We set it to, let's just copy the values 2. Okay, so we just set some memory values now. They don't do anything yet because the spawn doesn't care so far. It seems like my other code is not working right now. That's unfortunate. That should be enough energy to spawn a claimer. So something is broken with my code. Oh yeah, it's trying to spawn another harvester first, probably. Because I'm probably down to 1 harvester, I imagine. Let's actually check that. Let's make sure that's actually true. So we go in here, some real-time testing. I think it's getting stuck in this, or not stuck, but it's getting in here, and it's not gonna go. It's not going in here because, well, it's not. There are not enough harvesters. And I just said earlier, I want to prioritize harvesters over claimers. So let's check if it actually goes in here by just putting something out. You could put something useful there, but don't really want to right now. Okay, no, we're not getting there. Okay, that's bad. Now means we have enough harvesters. So probably something else is wrong. Let's actually check if we get in here. Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. So good. So we're actually hitting this. So we're trying to create a claimer, but it's not working for some reason. So let's actually print out the return value and see what we get. -6. What is -6? Let's check. Structure spawn. Create creep. Where is it? There. Create creep. Return value -6 is not enough energy. Oh yeah, I remember the claimer part is actually fairly expensive, I think. Let's check. Is that true? Creep, claim. So move costs 50, claim costs 600. Okay, we need 650. We're short on that. Yeah, we don't have that much. 300, 400, 500. We're pretty close though. We are close to 600. So okay, yeah, the sources will spawn soon, respawn soon, regenerate soon. This one just did. So we should be okay in a moment, hopefully. Okay, let's fix this. There we go. And actually, okay, let's continue with setting up the spawn. Okay, we have the min harvester set. As mentioned, this memory is not doing anything yet because we're not checking it, but we're gonna do that later on. So we're just preparing for that right now. So min harvesters is set. Let's go min upgraders 1, I think. Where's it? There. 1 upgrader, 1 builder, 1 repairer, 1 war repairer. Okay, we can do that. Min upgraders 1. Min. There we go. It's spawning the claimer. Min repairers 1. Min builders 1. And min wall repairers 1. There we go. Okay, let's check if that worked. Can we actually just do game.spawns.spawn 1.memory? What does this do? Not useful. Okay. Let's check it here then. Just stuff. There we go. Okay, so it has properties, they're all set. Okay, cool, that's what we want. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're worried, no, let's explain that in a moment. Okay, where's our spawner first? Where is it? What's his name? Colin. There's Colin. Okay, Colin is on the way. Okay, he's going around the swamp and then going over there. He will take a while, but as you can see, Colin only has 500 ticks time to live. That should be enough to get over there, I hope. If not, that would be pretty bad. We cannot make him quicker though. So, yeah, we could build a gap here if that's not enough. But I think he should be fine. Right, that's another 100 ticks, and that's maximum 200 ticks. Should be okay. We should be okay, hopefully. Okay, let's prepare the spawns, shall we? So, we got rid of this, so let's delete that for the moment. I'm not saving for the next few minutes, because I don't want the code to go into action yet. So, first of all, we have to iterate over all the spawns we have. So instead of going letting the code run with one specific spawn, we will run it with all the spawns. So we need a loop. We're gonna use a for let spawn a name in a game spawns loop. So there's a for in loop. Remember, for in loops are good for objects. You iterate over the names of the properties of the object. And game.spawns is an object of all the spawns you control, with the names being the property names being the spawn names. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna just do this for now. Take the brackets, do it down there, reformat. There we go. So okay, from the name we have to get to the actual spawn. So let's do let spawn be game spawns. Spawn a name. There we go. Now we have to spawn, and I want one more. I want one more thing. I want all the creeps in the room of the spawn. So let's say let creeps in room be game dot. Actually no, spawn. God damn it, I'm mistyping a lot. Spawn dot room dot find creeps. That's all the creeps in the room. There we go. As easy as that. Where's our claimer? Colin is on the way. Good. Cool. So that's all the creeps in this room. And now we're gonna change the code down here. So instead of counting all the creeps or all the halves the creeps in the game we control, we're just gonna look for all the creeps in the room of the spawner we're iterating over right now. So we replace the game.script with the creeps in room variable for all of those, while keeping the rest of the code intact. Okay, very important, if you have long distance harvesters, don't change the game creeps for them to creeps in room, because long distance harvesters will not always be in the same room as the spawn because, well, that's what they do. They go in the other room. Yeah, don't do that if you can avoid it. Well, no, don't do that. You can avoid it by just not doing it. And instead, you have to, you can basically just keep the long distance harvesters like this. You just have to make sure that you give the right spawns the right properties to actually spawn them. And don't fuck that up. So the long distance harvesters will always have a global count. So you have to make sure that only one, well, actually all the, you can do however you want it, but make sure you don't put creeps in room in here. Sorry, that was confusing. Anyway, too long didn't read. Don't change game.creeps for the long distance harvesters. If you do it, you're going to run into problems. If you don't, if you have some and you want to keep it running, that will work. Just keep it that way and make sure you do everything right later. Let's take a look where Colin is. He's on the way. He has how much lifetime? Oh, he has lots of lifetime left, so he should be easily get to the controller. Okay, cool. So with this out of the way, sorry for the rambling about the long distance harvesters. The next thing is we have to replace all the occurrence of game spawns spawn 1 with just this variable spawn. So we're gonna replace this instead of so we can iterate over all the spawns and not just look at spawn 1. So we're gonna replace all of this, and we also gonna replace these because we just deleted them. So instead of minimum number of harvesters, the variable, we're gonna take a look at the spawn's memory, spawn.memory.min harvesters. There we go. And besides that, like, we don't change the code much besides that, but this will we just replace the variable, the local variable, with the property from the memory. And we obviously also replace these, as mentioned earlier. We could do a global find and replace, I guess, but let's just do it manually for the time being. So if you're worried, what happens if you forget to define one of those variables? So what happens if min harvesters is not defined for some reason? For example, I didn't define the long distance harvesters variables as you saw earlier. So what if you don't define them? Well, if you compare a number, like number of harvesters, with lower than to undefined, then you will always this will always result in false. So if this variable is not defined, it will always return false and will always just go to the next condition. And the same is true for the next one, obviously. So this is the claimer one. So there we go. If claim room is not undefined, replace all of this. There we go. The line just got way shorter. It's Colin. Colin is not there yet, but he's on the way. Second room, here we go. Oh yeah, if you don't know, just making sure here, if you want to control more than one room, you need a global control level higher than 1. You can control as many rooms as your global control level. So if you're on 1, you can only control 1 room. If your global control level is 2, you can control 2 rooms, 3 rooms, and so on, obviously. Okay, so we got this done. So let's do the same here. Spawn.memory.min upgraders. Oh god, this episode is very rambly. I'm very sorry. There we go. I hope it's understandable anyway. The code, like, we're not doing super fancy stuff here. This is all fairly easy. It's just a lot of different things you have to keep in mind and have to worry about. Min repairers. And make sure you don't mistype. There we go. We're getting close. Just get through the swamp. Yeah. The most important thing is to not mistype. You can obviously reduce that chance by using some variables or like using a lot of copy paste and stuff. That can help. Go, Colin! He's on the way. Almost there. It's so exciting. I did this already on the private server, so it's not super exciting. But it's the first time I actually claim another room on the main server, so it's still somewhat exciting. Min wall repairers. There we go. Okay, cool. We're almost done with the code changes. There we go. We got the room. Yay. Okay. Let me fix or complete the code. Well, actually, no. We're gonna complete the code later. Let's do the time crucial things first. We need to place a spawn. We can place one spawn. Where do we put it? I guess somewhere here. Yeah. Let's just go with this position. I think. Let's put it a little higher. Let's put it here. We call it spawn 2. Fine with me. Now we have to get builders over there. We prepared for that already though, so that's good. So we're gonna take a look at our creeps, and we're gonna find the builders. And we're gonna try to find a builder with a high lifetime or time to live. So we're gonna go down in the memory list because that's the more recent spawned creeps, and look for builders. There we go. Eliar is one. So we can just copy that name and put in eliar.memory.target is what's the name of the room again? W53S79. There we go. I hope that works. Let's take a look. Where's Eliar? Eliar is not defined. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's try that again. Game.creeps Eliar. There we go. That should work. I'm not sure where Eliar is. It's kind of hard to see all the names right now. Is that Eliar? Maybe? Probably. Still not defined. Oh yeah. The console just froze on me. Oh, there we go. No, it didn't. It just lost focus. There we go. That's how you do it, hopefully. And no arrow. There we go. Okay, I think this is Eliar. If it is, he's not responding, so that's bad. No, that's Liliana. Oh, Eliar's just getting built. Okay, fine. This will take a moment. Let's take a look if we have another builder already. That's a claimer, wall repairer, upgrader, harvester. Okay, we don't have another builder around right now, so let's just keep it up. Obviously, we could change one of the creeps to become builder and give it the target, or like there's as always in creeps, there are always tons of different ways of doing the same thing. That's just the way I do it right now because I think it's an easy way to understand. So yeah, you can always as mentioned in the last episode, what I'm showing here is not the most optimal way of doing things, like not even close. There's so many better ways of doing these things, but I'm just trying to figure out easy ways of doing it and demonstrating them so it's easy to understand them. Okay, let's continue in the code to fix the spawns while we wait for Eliar to be spawned and to go over to the other room and build our spawn. So we have a number of long distance harvesters variable here with which we have to compare to another thing. So we're just going to use the same code here as for the others, but keep in mind that the number of long distance harvesters is actually globally counted as opposed to the number of wall repairers, for example, which is locally counted just for the room to spawn us in. And that doesn't change a lot, doesn't change much though, so that's fine. Let's call the variable min LDH for long distance harvesters W45S78. Again, this variable is not defined. If it is not defined, this will just not do anything. That's fine. That's what we want. Oh, wrong thing in the copy paste thingy. Okay. Also, we have to change home here. Well, we don't have to, but it makes sense, I think. So spawn.room.name is the new home. And besides that, it stays the same. Like, this still works. We don't have to change much here, but it will count those. Like, you have to. What I was trying to explain earlier is you have to think about which spawns should spawn those long distance harvesters, and do you give them like. So you have to think about which spawns you will set those properties for. So if I don't want to do long distance harvesting right now because the room is blocked by another player, but if I would just set it for the spawn in the main room, spawn 1, I would set the variable min LDH W45 S78 to 3 or 4 probably. That's where I had it earlier. That worked well. So yeah, but right now I don't want to, so I just keep them undefined, and that doesn't do anything. So I hope that was somewhat understandable and not too much rambling. Let's do the same here. We could just delete that. This is actually from the private server, but let's keep it in there because there might be a situation where I just want to have another long distance harvester, and in that case I just want to replace as few code as possible. So not a big deal to just change this as well. As mentioned, as long as it is undefined, as long as this is undefined, there will never be one spawn. So that's totally fine. And if all fails, we just build a builder, spawn a builder. You might notice I actually changed this code a bit. That was a little different in the last episode. I expanded a little bit on it. To get an overview of which roles I have available in the room. So that's cool. I think we just gonna comment this line out for a moment, and we're gonna actually expand a little bit on this as well, because I want to know which spawn is actually spawning right now. So we put that up here. We have spawn name as a variable, and we can just do this. So now we'll add the spawn name to the message as well, so that's cool. Spawn name spawned new creep with the name, the role, and then it gives an overview of the number of creeps in this room before it spawned that one. Keep that in mind, like those numbers are not updated yet. There's a new one being spawned. So yeah, you have to add basically whatever role is displayed here to those numbers. Let's make an example. So he just, like, as you can see here, he says there's your builder, so I'm building a builder, or creating a builder. Where is he? There he is. There's our hero. So he's going over to the other room and starting to build there. So that's really good. And Colin is just sitting here until he dies. You could, I guess, do something with him if you want to, but I'm not sure if it's really worth it to invest more energy into him, because as mentioned earlier, he only has a time to live of 500 total, so that's not a lot. So for the moment, I'm okay with that. Oh, did he? I think he left. I think he respawned. Is that correct? He respawned. Sweet. Okay, cool. Let's get the long distance harvesting going again. That's really good. Okay, that's really good. Wow. Because that makes my economy easier, because that means I can reduce my harvesters to 1. So I'm gonna do game.spawn1.memory.min long distance harvesters w. What was it? Let's just copy it so I don't mistype. To 3, I think, is a good number. And we're gonna reduce the number of min harvesters. Yes. Refresh this to take a look. There it is, good. And we change the harvesters to 1. There we go. Cool. Okay, that's good. Thanks for respawning if you're watching this. It will help us both, trust me. Like, spawning in a room with only 1 energy source is really painful. You don't want to do that. Okay, so Elijah will take a while to get over there. We could build get another builder. Like, he will spawn, the spawn one will spawn another builder soon anyway, because as soon as Elijah leaves that room, the number of builders in his room is going down to 0 again. So the spawn one will spawn another builder. And we could send that one over as well. For example, or we could, like, there are a lot of things you could do to help this new colony out. You could just continue sending creeps over, harvesters, upgraders, builders, whatever you want. You could just implement basically a reverse long distance harvester, which brings energy to this room to upgrade it quicker, for example. That would be a thing as well. Also, a super neat trick, if you want to play around with that, you can get big creeps from another room to this level 1 room, newly obtained level 1 room, and then instead of letting them die when their time to live is over, you renew them at your spawn, because the level 1 spawn or level 2 spawn cannot create new big creeps, but it can renew old creeps which are big already. So that's a neat trick to keep big creeps alive in a room that is actually not able to produce those big creeps. If you don't do that, you have to send over new ones, or they have to go back or whatever. So, like, there are a lot of different strategies to help out your new room, but the easiest one is to just send some over by just giving them a target. Similar to the builder. We can do the same thing. Well, we can just, when Elijah is over here and he is finished with building the spawn, we can just change him to become a harvester, for example, to make the harvesting quicker, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. Or you could send more over, as mentioned. There are a lot of different things, as always. And I would like to wait for it to be completed, but I think that's kind of pointless. Like, all the code is done. I hope I didn't forget anything. Did I save? I saved, and oops, that's not what I wanted. I saved, and the other colony is still running without errors. So I think I did everything correctly. So this one is still operating. So yeah, I think we're good. There's one thing I didn't change yet, which will not work quite as expected maybe. I didn't change the tower code yet. So for now, the tower code is actually checking for only for towers in the room, in the starting room, which is defined with this variable, which we probably get rid of soon, as soon as we update the tower code. But I'm not going to do that now. So if you want to get towers in other rooms as well, you have to change this code. But for now, I keep it because this room is only level 1, so it cannot have towers anyway. So yeah, I think it's time to wrap up this video because I don't want to wait for Elijah to finish the spawn. But basically, as soon... Oh yeah, what we can do... No, we can't do that yet because it's not created yet. But as soon as this spawn is created, the first thing you want to do is define those memory positions. Min harvesters, min upgraders, min builders, min repairers. So this room can actually start spawning creeps as well. And then you can just adjust the numbers for the separate rooms via the separate memories of the 2 spawns. So if you want more harvesters in this room, you just increase the min harvesters variable of the spawn of this room. And if you want more harvesters in the other one, you do the same for the other spawn and stuff like that. So you can organize them or manage them separately from each other, which was the whole idea of putting those numbers into memory. So that's good. You could obviously also instead just use local variables and have them like in an array or something like that. But I thought it's nicer to have them in console, mainly because you can just type in need console commands instead of changing your code. So that's a good thing, I think. It makes your code a little bit more generic, I guess. So yeah, let's wrap this up, shall we? So what did we do? We created a new builder role, which has a very simple task. It just goes to a target room and claims the controller, which is really easy. And it has only 1 move and 1 claim part because it's not very useful afterwards because it only has a time to live of 500. That was really easy to do, actually. The more complicated part is to change the code to make it work with multiple spawns. So instead of having like the game.spawns.spawn1 everywhere, we replaced it with a loop over all the spawns and replace it with like iterate over the spawns and execute the same code for all the spawns we have. Also, we have to make sure that we don't look for all the creeps in the room if we count them. We in all rooms, like we do not count all the creeps we have. We only count the creeps in the same room as a spawn, with the exception of the long distance harvesters. And finally, we need someone to build the spawn in the new room. So we have to send a builder over there to make it, well, to build the spawn. And that's Elijah here. Is that how you pronounce that name? I'm not sure, actually. Eli, I guess. It could be Elijah as well. I guess it's an Elijah. So, yeah. And if you want to speed up that process, there are a lot of different strategies, as mentioned earlier. You can send over more creeps. You can renew them if you want to. You can have creeps travel back and forth between the 2 rooms and transport energy over to the new room from the old room and stuff like that. Like, there are tons of options and tons of ways to make this more efficient. So feel free to play around with that. And yeah, my goal for the next episode is to actually improve the energy harvesting code. Or not the code, yeah, well, the way we harvest so far is very inefficient. There's a way more efficient way by using containers. So we're going to do that next episode, hopefully. I have to research how to do it exactly first there. I have an idea in my mind, but I didn't try it out yet. So that's the thing I'm going to do for the next 2 days. And then when I got it going, I'm going to try to present it in the video. So here we go. My new room. Cool. Thanks all for watching. I'm TH Pine. I hope you tune in. God damn it. Let's try that again. I'm TH Pine, thanks a lot for watching, have fun, and see ya next time.